Magnoli, he's bringing the ball wide. He brings the ball in. Cassie, oh, what a strike! And that's involved, and that's a lovely finish from Rafael Leao. Magnoli, he finds the left back in space, and it's ball inside. That's a lovely goal. Lovely, lovely goal. Before we start, I'd like to give a huge shout out to all my Patreon members. All credit goes out to them as it's their support that is helping me create these videos. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment to FMSCOUT's YouTube page. Peace and enjoy the videos. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to your favourite series. And that's right, we're back with a recreation. Today's one will be a little bit special as today we have two tactics from different seasons. So we have the Christmas tree that Ancelotti used when he won the Champions League in 2006-2007. But we also have his diamond shaped tactic that he used in 2004-2005 when AC Milan were actually the runners up in their very entertaining Champions League final against Liverpool. So what we're going to do now is look at both systems and how they line up, and we're going to talk about the tactics. The Christmas tree, the 4-3-2-1, was considered a defensive system at the time as it heavily focused on being structured and solid, not leaving any gaps for the opponents to expose and difficult to break down. The back four was shaped pretty much like a flat four, with the wing backs having the license to get further forward and to offer some natural width for this very narrow formation. The midfield trio, which at the time was Gattuso, Pirlo and Ambrosini, was seen to be a three-man holding midfield. These three men were key and all had very different roles. Pirlo of course was the playmaker for the whole team and was allowed to roam and affect the game anywhere he wanted. In order for this to be allowed to happen, both midfielders on each side of him had to be solid and be able to win the ball back. Gattuso was more of the ball winning midfielder, whilst Ambrosini was very smart tactically, able to cover position and also help out with the defence. The front three were almost shaped as a triangle at the top of the tree. The two attacking midfielders were able to provide quality in the final third to be able to drag defenders out by drifting wide, also dribbling wide to provide extra width for AC Milan. The two attacking midfielders had the freedom to express themselves, while the lone striker was the main goal scoring threat, not being involved too much with the build up and always looking to get in behind the defence and keep them occupied. Ancelotti played possession based football as they knocked the ball around patiently waiting for an opening, often using the playmaker to build from the back. But not just the playmaker was good at building from the back, the two central defenders were also very capable with the ball at their feet, giving AC Milan the option for them to bring the ball out of the defence if the playmaker was not available to receive the ball. They also played centrally for most periods, which would be natural as the playmaker is placed in the middle of the narrow formation. Having creative players was key in the system to break down defence, and for the diamond, the shape and the game style are basically identical and very similar. The main difference is having the attacking midfielder pushed into the striker role. This system was viewed as a more attacking system than the Christmas tree. First of all, we're going to be looking at the 2006-2007 formation when Milan won the Champions League, playing some really nice stuff. As you can see, out of possession, Milan had a higher defence line, also with a higher line of engagement. This allowed the team to be on the front foot a little bit, but also this creates a congestion in the middle of the pitch, making it difficult for the opponents to break through this narrow formation. We are going to be using the offside trap with the higher defence line. This will cause your defenders to step up, be a little bit more aggressive when defending. We've gone with the more urgent pressing intensity, and with our two central midfielders closing down more, this allows the rest of the team to match that closing down and not allow gaps to appear in the midfield. In transition, I found that Milan both regrouped when they lost the ball and they held their shape on the ball. On the ball, they never had much off the ball runners. The main runners off the ball were the two wide men, while everyone else held their position, patiently building, waiting for an opening to break down the opposition's defence. And when distributing it, mainly the ball will go to the centre-backs, which would then look for the deep line playmaker, which would be Andrea Pirlo. The two wing-backs will be pushing up higher up the pitch, giving the central backs and the deep line playmaker angles and options to play the ball. We'll be using a slow-paced down instruction just to have a little bit more control of the ball when building. In possession, we've left the attacking width with fairly wide. I could have knocked it down a bit to fairly narrow, but I will leave this on fairly wide, as this just gives my team and my important players like the regista and the advanced playmaker, give them some space to play and to express themselves. Like I said, Ancelotti focused heavily on patient build-up, so for that reason we have gone for the shorter passing directness and for the lower tempo. Of course, we'll be using the play out of defence instruction. When using this will instruct the midfielders to drop deeper. And as we are distributing it to the centre-backs and not the full-backs will look to push up in these areas, while the rest of the midfielders look to come down and get the ball. We'll be aiming to work the ball into the box, being patient, not forcing too many long shots, whilst being expressive in possession. This mainly affects the more attacking players. Now for the diamond, you can see the playing style is the exact same, but this time for defensive width, we are going to go to narrow. The reason why I've chosen narrow is because we have lost a midfielder. Now we are a bit lighter in midfield, so I've gone for narrow to keep us more compact and allow opposition to have the ball in the flanks, forcing them to come inside once they go outside, and they will be met with a lot of bodies centrally. Other than that, all the instructions are the same. Now for player roles and instructions, we've gone for the sweeper keeper on defend in goal. I'm using this because we are using a higher defence line, and to close the gap between the goalkeeper and the defence line, I feel we need to use a sweeper keeper. For the two centre-backs, we've gone with ball-playing defender. For the left-hand-sided one, which would be the Maldini, we've given him the dribble more instruction. This gives us the option to be able to bring the ball out also from defence when we're building up. Both centre-backs do have the close down less option. I have this to make us a little bit more compact, make sure they don't lose their shape and step out too much and leave gaps behind them. For the left hand side, I've gone for wing back on attack, and the right hand side, I've gone for the complete wing back on attack. For the left hand side, the reason why it's not on complete wing back and just on wing back, I want him to have a relationship with the carrilero and not have him roaming from his position too often. But for the right hand side, we do have the complete wing back option, so he has the license to roam and go whenever he wants, whenever he likes. For the DM, of course, we've gone for the regista, the Andrea Pirlo role. He has closed down more. The reason why I have him closing down more is to hurry the opposition's attacking midfielders and not give them time on the ball to play key passes through our defence. He also has a dribble less. The reason why he has dribble less is because I want him to dribble less and focus on passing, keeping our team ticking. For the left-handed side on central midfield, we've gone for the carrilero. He will be the main shuttler. He will be covering if the regista decides to move forward, or when the wing back on the left decides to move forward. For the right hand side central midfield, we've gone for the ball winning midfielder. That is the Gattuso role. I've given him to stay wider again so he can have a little relationship with the right hand side wing back. With both of these centre midfielders on stay wider, that now creates a mini overlap situation. Now, if these two players ever do have the ball while they are out wide, the wing backs on attack will naturally look to overlap these players, and that will form a little relationship between the two. For the left-handed sided attacking midfielder, we've gone for dribble more as the option. He'll be looking to affect these areas. So when we have the ball, naturally I will be looking for him to get further forward to support the striker. The reason why I don't have that instruction is because I don't want him constantly getting forward and losing shape when we are in possession of the ball. I want him to make that forward run a little more naturally than forced. For the right-handed side, we've got the advanced playmaker. This is the Kaka role. He has stay wider and run wide with the ball, as Kaka often did, affecting all areas in the final third. dribbling with the ball, closing down more too. He wants to be on the ball more often than not. And for the striker, the Inzaghi role, we've gone for the poacher, someone that doesn't get involved with the play too often, someone that will look to move into channels and keep the defence occupied. He'll also be key for the wide wing backs when they get down the flanks. They'll be looking for the poacher inside the box, counting on him to be free in some areas in the box to get an easy tap in. For the diamond, the roles are the same, but for the central midfielder, this is where Seedorf would have played. Again, he's got the same role as the Christmas tree, but just a little bit more deeper. And because he is a little bit more deeper, I have given him the attack duty, so he can also affect the final third of the pitch. I've given him Mark tighter to not let the opposition have time on the ball in central midfield, close down, making it difficult for the opposition to have a free man in central midfield. And for the partner striker on the left hand side, we've gone with pressing forward on attack. He'll be looking to support the poacher, and because the poacher doesn't get involved in the play that much, we're looking for the pressing forward to do all the dirty work for the poacher. That's it for the tactic, and now we'll talk a little bit about the training and which training affects this formation the most. So when it comes to training, I did use presets. I did not create one for this tactic, but the presets worked very well. So the main one I used was control possession. I feel this captures the philosophy and the aim of the formation. I had tweaks and I did edit. So what I did, I removed the match practice because I felt that wasn't important, and I added technical chance creation. This was advised by Snapdan over at Discord, so if you want to talk about tactics and training and all that stuff, you should also join the FMSCOUT Discord. But back to the training, we added chance creation. We did move it to the Friday morning to make it more effective, or as we felt, make it more effective for the game day. And instead of match tactics, what I also did, I used transition for restrict. Now the tactic may be pressing, but as we are regrouping, the aim is to restrict space. The whole aim in our defensive work out of possession is to restrict the space in our team. So this is how I had my training, and on the Tuesday I also added some teamwork, and on the Thursday I added attacking movement. So this was my schedule. I also added match review. So this is my schedule, and for you guys, you know what, you're gonna see it here live. I'm gonna save it. AC Milan recreation. We're going to export this, RDF's Milan recreation. And there we go. So for you guys, this will be attached to the tactic. So here we are, guys, with the results. And as you can see, Milan finished sitting on top of the table, played 38 games, getting 93 points. Rafael Leao was the top goal scorer with just 16 goals. In the league, he played 26, scoring 14, so that's actually not a bad return. He's played 30, scored 16, so that's a goal every 2 games. That is not bad for a 20-year-old who is now a wonder kid. The highest average rated player was Frank Kessie. He was the ball-winning midfielder. Most assists was Hakan Çalhanoğlu with 13 assists as the advanced playmaker. Best pass completion was Rafael Leao. Surprising. Most man of the match awards was Frank Kessie and Ismail Benacer with 5 player of the match awards. So he was actually my register. He was the Pirlo of the team. Most yellow cards, no surprise, was Frank Kessie with 16. And the most red cards was Musacchio and Theo Hernandez. As you can see here, we also won the Italian Cup. So it was the Italian double in the first season using this formation, with Frank Kessie being the main player in that cup competition. So now if we look at the actual league table, we played 38 games, winning 29 of those, drawing 6, losing 3 games, only scoring 65 goals, but conceding only 21, which was the best defense in the league. That goes to show how solid we actually were, getting 93 points, which is actually a very, very high total. If we see, we're 10th in average possession, which isn't the worst. And just by looking at this table, you can tell that this league really focuses on possession, really focuses on having the ball, and a lot of teams play very defensive, and that also can give them a high percentage number. If you look at the form, we ended the season with the best form. With the whole form is 5 wins in a row now, and the away form the same, 5 wins in a row. As you can see here, we have the least conceded, but we don't have the most clean sheets. We have the 4th most clean sheets with 21 clean sheets. We're 5th with the best passing accuracy with 88%. The first team was 90%. There's not really much between these teams in the top 8. It's very, very close. We're only missing out by 2%. We were 3rd with getting our shots on target, so clearly we have some technique with shooting, but our conversion rate wasn't the best. We sit 11th with conversion rate. Fouls against, we came 3rd, and I think that's down to my 2 attacking midfielders and my wing backs, because they are the only ones that are instructed to dribble often. Average per game, we are making 17 dribbles per game. Throughout the whole season, we only conceded 1 goal from a corner. We conceded no goals from a direct free kick, but we did concede 4 from indirect free kicks. If we check fouls made, we're 15th in this list, so we don't give away much fouls. I can only guess that without the ball winning midfielder, this will be even lower, but the ball winning midfielder is key to how we play and our shape and formation. Our tackles won ratio is actually very high too. We're sitting at 86%. We're only missing out on 1% from being top. And throughout the whole season, we only conceded 1 penalty. So I believe we had very good positioning and good tackling, and it didn't cause us to give away too many fouls, and most importantly, not too many set pieces. And if we look at the top goal scorer, there's no surprise. Cristiano Ronaldo, at the age of 35, still scoring 32 goals. But we have Rafael Leao sitting in 4th, 5th place, scoring 14, but only starting 26 games. And Milic is the only one that has a similar record. But Rafael Leao in this list has the best minutes to goal ratio. So I feel if I actually started with him and not Zlatan Ibrahimovic, maybe he could have scored a few more goals. Hakan Çalhanoğlu, he has 12 assists. The best assist count in the league is 13, so he's only 1 away from that, and he is our advanced playmaker. Most dribbles a game, Diego Laxalt is there alongside Fernando Hernandez, so that's both of our left wing backs. Gianluigi Donnarumma also only conceded 21. That is the 2nd best goalkeeper in the league. Romagnoli, he actually won the most headers and also has the most interceptions in the league. So if we just look at the stats within our squad, as you can see, Rafael Leao, he scored the most goals with 16. Surprisingly, very, very surprisingly, Frank Kessie has 14 goals. Zlatan has 10 in 11 starts. Very good ratio. Very, very good. Romagnoli has 7. I can only guess that is from set pieces alongside Simon Kjær. And Lucas Paqueta, he has 4 goals. Çalhanoğlu, he has the most assists in our squad alongside Theo Hernandez, Diego Laxalt, Benacer and David Calabria. If we look at the average rated, we're not going to count him, he only played 3. But there's Frank Kessie, our ball-winning midfielder, was simply our most impressive player during the season. Diego Laxalt and Fernando Hernandez is also up there. But most importantly, so is our register, our playmaker, our Pirlo, Ismail Benacer. He came in with a high 7.30 average rating. And as you can see on the schedule, we got off to a very good start, not losing until our 15th game. And no surprise, that loss came to Juventus away. We did then win our next game, but shockingly, most certainly shockingly, Hellas Verona beat us 4-1. I mean, I was gobsmacked. We didn't even have a weakened team. We still had a strong team and we managed to lose 4-1. To me, that was very, very crazy. But as you can see here, we then went on a very good run again. Our next loss came away to Napoli. And then after we lost to Napoli, we won every single game towards the end of the season. So we won 12 Serie A games on the run, and then also beating Roma in the Italian Cup 2-1. Which makes it 13 games won in a row. So that's it, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being patient with this video. I know I haven't done a tactic recreation in a very long while now, but I'm back and it's back now. It's a shame that we couldn't test this tactic in Europe with AC Milan, because obviously, quite clearly, Milan are not in a European competition. So hopefully one of you guys can try it out in Europe and you can report it back to us. You can leave it in the comments. So don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. And a big shout out to my Patreon members, and the biggest shout out of all, that has to go to Stam of FMSCOUT. He's doing a fantastic job running this. I have to say, I am enjoying my time. It's been a pleasure and I am honoured to be on this team. So thank you guys. Peace and love. I hope you have a nice day. Enjoy yourself.